welcome back. Like I said, we would be back in just, literally 3 minutes, and now we have our 3 maps.
Let's go.
I would like to start off by saying we are terrible at guessing. We got 1 out of 3 correct, and we did not get the placement right at all.
We did not.
As you can see, we're gonna have Sunset, Ascent, and Lotus. I am actually super.
We got 2 correct.
No.
Okay.
I am honestly really excited to see Sunset coming in more because I feel like it's a really fun map to play, and it's the only map with Boba as a call out.
Boba is a call out?
Yeah, Boba is a call out.
I have not. I don't think I've heard that.
I'll point it out when they head in. But
Okay.
as we can see, we do have SNHU who had picked Sunset. So I think that is a great Gecko map. We are going to see SNHU starting on defense for all of them. And, I always talk about how SNHU is a very attack-sided team. So I think this would be really interesting to see with SNHU starting on defense for all 3 maps, how they're going to be able, are they going to be able to rack up enough points in the first half? Are they going to go super defense-sided? Or are they going to stay with their usual really aggressive defense, pushing up every single time or letting the waves crash into them instead?
Yeah, I was wondering, last game on Lotus, we saw Neon and Deadlock. I feel like those characters are not, characters you normally pick for Lotus. So I wonder if both teams do get to Decider, if we'll still see that similar lineup of Neon and Deadlock, because I feel like Deadlock worked well, being able to block off main and just B main, so there's no entry to the wall or site. So I'm really excited to see what they have for a lineup on that, but I feel like we should talk about the lineup on Sunset.
Let's just head right into Agent Select and see what both of the teams have going for us. Why don't you cover what we have going on SNHU while we wait for Fisher to get back in?
I mean, right now, with Sunset, we're going for a double smoke combo here. Hilton is going to be on Viper, Seiko on Omen, Case on Breach, Franck on Cypher, and Nami on Jet. I feel like this is a standard lineup you'd have for Sunset, being able to split off site really well, and then again having Omen to cover even more.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw that before in the past, and it just worked out well for him.
And Breach, I feel like, is increasingly more useful, especially on a map such as Sunset, where there are corners everywhere.
Exactly.
His utility just penetrates through every single corner so easily. It's definitely something that you really want to have. Now, let's look at Fisher as they start to lock in. We've got Psyche immediately on that raise. Rex hovering the Cypher. Muera maybe going with the Jet. Camlord also looking at the Sova, and Javi still uncertain on what it is. And, we always have that one person that waits for the rest of his team to lock in.
He's just
and
playing
fills
Phil.
it in. Yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, I could never be a Phil. I'm more of a
Really?
Psyche. I only know how to play 2 people.
Okay,
So everyone's like, okay, Kaylee, you can go first. We'll choose after you. But it looks like Javi's got the Omen in. Muera's picking the Cypher. We've got Camlord on the Sova and Rex hovering the Breach. So a little bit of a mirror comp. We do have the Jet on SNHU kind of subbing against the Raze on Fisher. The Viper is very different from the Sova. But apart from that, 3 mirror matchups. So really excited to see how we're able to have those agents who are the same used in different ways, or maybe they have just the same strats, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
I mean, with SNHU, we do see, obviously the Cypher. We've seen a lot of tripwires come to play, one ways with the cages. So we'll see a similar thing, and I can expect to see the same thing from the other team as well. So.
Let's head straight into the game. I truly cannot wait to see just how aggressive SNHU is going to be on this first defense push, and whether or not Fisher is going to match their aggressiveness or kind of play it down.
Yeah,
I think like that could be a really, really big kind of decider in how this game goes.
Yeah, I mean, we've known SNHU as a more attacker-sided team here. They enjoy kind of pushing forward, rushing through here, and on defense, occasionally they'll do a similar thing, but on defense it's important to know that yes, sometimes you can push in, but it's also good to slow down every now and then. So I'm wondering if they'll have a similar playstyle to last game. But starting off right now, looks like Volt is actually just going to be playing for picks here with Seiko.
Really, really nice first pick coming out of Seiko right onto Psyche and taking out that duelist immediately. That's going to halt Fisher's attempts to push onto site. But, we could see them as just kind of making a little bit of noise over at A as we see a almost full push from Fisher coming out onto B-side. Muera going to get that pick onto Hilton. It's going to bring that back down to a 4v4. Franck finding Camlord and another onto Muera. Really nice picks coming out from Franck, but Javi right there to get that trade back onto Franck. We see the spike has now been planted. I keep trying to say splont for some
Splont.
reason. Yeah.
Spike.
The splonted has been spiked, apparently. Now, ooh, that could be a really interesting altercation. Ooh, Seiko gets away alive as Javi finds that trade onto Seiko, and Case finishes that off with a nice pistol shot onto Javi for a first pistol round heading over to SNHU. I think, I want to say, I'm going to knock on wood while I say this, but
Is this one? I don't think
hopefully,
this
I hope that the SNHU pistol curse has been broken. I think it's been going pretty
You think
well
so?
far.
I mean, it's been
Yeah.
2 games, but I mean, for those rounds, do you happen to remember if SNHU has won every single pistol round?
I hope so. I really hope so. You know, I'm pretty sure on the first round, on the first map, we won pistol.
Yes.
And then on the third map, we won pistol.
Okay, so two out of 3. I mean, that's
Now it's
not
3 out of 4
not terrible. But yeah, so yeah, now 3 out of 4. I mean, if they win the second one, then like yes, then they'll technically win both quote unquote pistol rounds. Technically, it's their bonus here.
Oh, they're already switching it up with a more of a mid push
Yeah.
coming out of Fisher. And I guess like they're still playing kind of aggressive, but they're taking it very slow. And especially when you're playing on more of a save round, because you didn't win the first round, you need to get up close and personal, like Javi and Camlord, who are able to each find their own picks. Hilton, with that Bulldog finally finding a pick of his own, that's going to be pretty good to bring numbers back down to a 4v3. But you know, when you have just small pistols against all the rifles and the
Yeah.
SMGs that SNHU now has, you need to get in their face, you know?
Absolutely.
Ooh,
And speaking of getting in your face, literally just hopping right in front of Nami there, gonna get that headshot away, making it. Oh my goodness!
Really nice shot coming out of Camlord right onto Nami. You know, at his low HP, he really just didn't stand a chance.
Yeah.
And we see that spike plants down onto A. Fisher's in a really good position here. Rex able to pick up that Bulldogs, getting one onto Frank, and Rex finishes that off with a nice 2K onto Frank and Hilton. Really good round coming out of Fisher, and a round that, you know, we didn't really expect them to win, especially with SNHU being on their first buy.
Yeah, this is gonna hurt SNHU a little bit here, as we see on the guns right now. Full, or I'm just gonna say full Fisher Ultimate, whatever it is gonna have very strong guns here, very heavy shield, and SNHU, since they lost their bonus round, they bought up. They can only really afford so much, just some light pistols, maybe sheriffs, and that's the max that's gonna happen here. But I mean, Full had a similar thing, and they were able to win that round. So maybe SNHU can clutch it out and see if they're able to win that as well.
I think SNHU is still waiting kind of for Fisher to reveal what their strategy is, and we see Fisher doing a really quick push onto B. It's Frank, it's that first pick onto Psyche. Camlord finding another onto Frank to get that trade back on and just keep it to a 4v4. Hilton's in a pretty good spot, and I'm pretty sure this is Boba, by the way.
Okay, I got you.
So that's Boba right there. Ooh, Rex getting that fault line into Boba is going to be pretty hard for SNHU. You know, we see all 4 remaining members of SNHU all kind of bundle up in Boba. Javi going to get that first pick onto Seiko, who tries to entry onto his side. Javi getting a second onto Case. Nami right there to get that trade onto Javi, and Rex finishing that off once again with a 2K onto Nami and Hilton. Really fast half of the second round coming on, and it seems like they're kind of building up their momentum more. You know, they're getting more confident, and I'm really surprised to see that SNHU's waiting for Fisher to push into them.
Yeah, I mean, normally on defense, that's what you want to do here. But again, SNHU is known to be a little bit more attacker friendly here, you know, going a little bit more in the aggression. That's what they enjoy and what they do best here. So seeing them sit back a little bit, you know, it's a good change for them here. And now going to be with this kind of even matchup here. If Full does lose this round, they will have enough to buy next. So it's really important that SNHU tries to win this round here and tie things up, because it will be huge for them.
Ooh, Hilton's going to get a face full of Fisher as he walks into Psyche. Is he going to be able to get the trade here? Unfortunately not, and he goes down as the first pick. Moira going to find Case for that second pick, and they're already moving incredibly fast. It's down to a 5v3 within the first 10 seconds of the map, and we see them get onto site, absolutely zero problems. And so now it's up to the last 3 remaining members of SNHU to get back onto site and try to reestablish a bit more dominance, get a bit more space. Nami gonna try to entry on, but gets stuck by the trip wire. See that drone getting a lot of information, and he's able to get that pick onto Moira. Javi gonna find Frank to bring it down to a 4v2.
That's a huge blind.
Yeah.
unfortunately not able to capitalize on that. They're just waiting for SNHU to push up, and they're hiding in these corners here. Seiko and Nami, they need to push that, but with the attackers that Full has and just waiting, it's almost like they're playing defense. They're waiting for the defenders to quote unquote push in. It's just the best strat for SNHU to save their guns right now, especially with the low economy that they have. It's really hard to do that.
Oh, Camlord. Oh, Javi falls to the bomb and Camlord walks straight into Nami. That's definitely going to take a few guns away from Fisher, and it helps SNHU, even if it's just 2 more guns taken away from them.
It's just a little bit of economy dropped, and honestly, you can take whatever you can get here. But unfortunately for SNHU, only 2 of their members were able to stay alive here. So again, not going to be able to buy very much. Still staying kind of low, but it looks like SNHU is going to be forcing up to fight with all they got for this round. In terms of ultimates, we do see that Frank does have his Cypher ultimate as well. So if they're able to get a pick, they can figure out exactly where Full is going to be going here. And I mean, Psych is already going to get super aggressive pushing in onto A here.
Yeah, those blast packs are really coming in handy, especially when he's trying to initiate onto the site, coming into elbow and just really getting super aggressive. But Nami getting 1, almost getting another 2. That blind was incredible. Camlord is going to follow that up with 2 more. We see that Rolling Thunder come through the side as well. Moira going to find one. Hilton finding one. Camlord on his 3rd, finding that trade onto Hilton to bring that down to a 1v run. Ooh, we see the Hunter's Fury coming out as well from Fisher. That is, I'm not too sure how I feel about the use of that ult.
I feel, I'm not too sure on how it could go. It can go a little bit of a distraction here, but regardless, Psych is able to finish out that round, getting that headshot onto Frank there, and Full is now on a streak of, I believe, 4 wins in a row. That is pretty strong for the beginning of the game.
And 1 by Spike.
Yeah, that's pretty strong for the beginning of the game here, especially for SNHU. Just being set back so far on defense is not where you want to be. Just because, again, with being really on the attacking side, they're going to be on defense for all 3 maps. So SNHU can really only hope that it doesn't go.
Would you say Sunset's more of an attack-sided or a defense-sided map?
I'd say it's kind of hard to say because there is a mid in that map, but I feel like you never really see it being used. You know what I mean?
Frank's taking away a lot of really useful information, and that paranoia coming out is going to get Nami his first kill onto Psyche as Moira finds 2 onto both Nami and Seikwo. But, you know, the damage has been done. Both Nami and Seikwo were able to find their own to bring that down to more of an even fight in this 3v3 situation, especially with Frank using his ultimate as well. That's going to give a lot of information, and that could potentially give SNHU the upper hand that they need.
Absolutely, but Full right now is all staying together. They do not want to lose a pick by themselves. They want to be there for that trade there, and Hilton may get a catch of a glimpse of where they are going, but it looks like they're going to be going in from the defender side spawn over onto A here, and SNHU just might be in the right spot to try and get the flank on them as well.
Oh, Hilton's going to make contact with one and going to get a really, really nice kill onto Moira to bring the numbers down even lower. Rex going to try and reposition and plant, but Rex going to get that nice shot onto Case as well, bringing the numbers once again back down, balancing it out. And it's really funny because he's trying so hard to plant the spike, but, you know, SNHU is just denying him any opportunity. Javi standing in that little sliver, just finding a little bit of a wisp of Frank as Rex takes him down. It's all up to Hilton in this 1v2 situation. The spike has been planted. He is going to be hiding in the Omen smoke, but is it going to be enough? And unfortunately it isn't, as Javi's able to take Hilton out and bring the 5th round in a row home to Fisher Ultra.
Yeah, Fisher Ultra definitely slamming out this this attack side. Like I said last time, I said that mid wasn't being used enough. I was very clearly wrong, and they just rushed into there. So it really depends on playstyle, going back to if it's attacking or decided, or if it's attacker side of map or defended side of map. It really depends on the team here, but for right now, Full, I mean, they're doing pretty good on the attacker side of things. They're going in pretty strong here, and Nami is going to be buying out this operator as well to even help with more defense here. But unfortunately for him, it looks like most of Full is going to be kind of around this mid area here. Going to be great for Hilton in that Viper's Pit, but not so much the operator.
Oh, Hilton unfortunately going down to Psyche. That is an early pick that is extremely unfortunate, but Seiko going to get that trade onto Psyche. But, you know, in the end, it's still the same. That Viper's Pit is now out of the round.
Absolutely. I mean, it's so early that's gone too, and Case and Moira is just going to get so many picks of their own here, and now it's a 1v2 against Full's Breach and Nami and Frank. I mean, that was kind of fast here. The ultimate is being used. Frank and SNHU now know where Rex is gonna be here as he starts to push up over onto B.
Rex is going to have to be super careful looking at both angles, but he gets to Nami before Nami does. And, you know, more than anything, after losing a number, that is also an operator down. And that is a lot of credits to be losing, especially when, you know, you've been trying to get your credits up. You've been not so successful in bringing rounds back. Like, yes, you're fragging out, but winning the rounds, obviously, are what you need to build your economy back up. So losing that operator could prove detrimental to, you know, Snooze or maybe just Nami's economy in the long run.
Oh, absolutely here. But Frank, and it being a 1v1 right now, it looks like Rex may be trying to go for a flank over onto Frank's side, but both members are just trying to figure out where each other are. It's kind of like a little
game of a cat and mouse, you know, some hide and seek, a little friendly hide and seek.
It's almost like a ring around the rosy here that Rex is doing, and unfortunately, it may catch Frank off guard here as he gets that kill right behind him.
That is so unfortunate. You know, just looked away, looked at the wrong side at the wrong moment.
Unfortunately, I feel like it's a pattern. I want to say it's like the Frank curse almost. It's always whenever a spectator is on him, it's just his crosshair is always in the wrong spot. But right now, I wonder if Volt is going to try and change anything up. It seems like what they're doing is working out pretty well, just trying to push a site as best as they can, get these picks, and maybe rotate if they need to. But other than that, I'm really not seeing a lot of change from how their aggression style is being. It's working out pretty well. They're using their utilities, their blinds, whatever they need to secure these kills. And it's just, I feel like there's not really a pattern to what they're doing. And I feel like that's why SNHU can't really match up with their attack speed.
Yeah, we've been seeing Fisher Ultra just kind of change everything up, like you said, almost every single round. But Psyche going to get a really quick first pick onto Seikwo and leave B site just a little bit more open. But, you know, with having Cypher, it's really easy to keep him to lurk on one side, have everyone else rotate to the other side. And that's something that's very useful, especially on a map such as Sunset, where there are so many kind of twists and turns and corners you can go into. Oh, Showstopper coming out from Psyche. Nami is going to be able to find Psyche, but not before Showstopper finds Hilton. Moira going to find Frank. Case and Nami each following it up with their own. Javi finding one onto Nami, and now it is all up to Case in this 1v2. We see that Spike go down on B. It's up to him, his sheriff, and just a little bit of willpower. We see all of his abilities, but unfortunately goes down to Javi before he's able to do just a little bit more.
Yeah, again, just not having those guns there, it could have been a maybe higher chance if he got that kill, maybe with a Vandal or something like that. But with a Sheriff, you're not always guaranteed so much here. Although he did have his ultimate, it's just not worth to spend it in that area here. Actually, both members, Full and SNHU, both have their Omen and Breach as their ultimate here. So for Breach, you can stop a plant wherever they push, and then obviously for Full, I mean, he can just stun everyone that's on site there. So both very strong ultimates to use for retake and attack here, and I wonder if we'll be seeing those anytime soon. But for right now, it looks like Volt is just going to go with a pretty slow push, not as aggressive.
I definitely was just saying that, you know, definitely a little bit more of a slower push, but we are looking towards more of an A stack, which I feel like I've been seeing Fisher start off looking towards B and then having, like, being forced to rotate over to A. So having them fully rush A, which they only did for a while in the first beginning couple of rounds, is very interesting. Moira, however, going to find that first pick onto Nami, and we see that Neural Theft once again come back up, and once it's so much information for either team. That is so much information. Oh, unfortunate for Frank. He's going to get caught in that fault line, that aftershock. It's so hard to get out.
Yeah, that one way from Javi as well is just going to pick off Case, and just this angle. Moira's holding it. He is the lurker and just getting 3 picks of SNHU. That's going to put stuff pretty high for Full. It's 8-1 now. The best possible score is 8-4, and I'm not surprised to see a timeout come here too. I mean, it's always around the 8th or 9th round when we always see a timeout come out for the half here. So I'm wondering what SNHU can do for their defense, because it feels like they're doing everything right. They're staying back. They're holding corners. I'm not sure if they just need to play slower or they just need to check angles where they'd expect Full not to be there, but they are. Like Cypher was lurking, but they didn't. You know, you don't really expect Cypher to be lurking when there's a full team push onto A.
I'm not too sure if I'm the only one that noticed this, but I've seen that in such a fast-paced game like this, I feel like we tend to see less abilities being thrown out.
Yeah.
You know, we were always seeing frags and picks and just the general kills get thrown out. But maybe if we started seeing an increased use of utility, you know, obviously, like you talked about, Breach has incredible utility either to flash people with his flashpoint. You can knock people up. You've got your fault line. You've got your aftershock. Omen, he's got his paranoia. He's got his dark cover. Even shrouded step. Like all of these abilities, I think, are wonderful for both teams to use. And maybe by trying to slow it down and use their abilities, it might make a little bit of a difference. Obviously, with them finding frags so quickly, abilities might not make any difference at all.
Right.
But I'm interested to see if that could be potentially something that we're going to see after this timeout.
Yeah, absolutely. So what you're saying is you just want to see a little bit of a increase in ability usage from both teams. You feel like that help out a lot more than it already has been.
Yeah, you know, we've got the typical, you know, we've got the Viper wall, we've got the snake bite, we have the recon vault and the owl drone, and all this is incredible for information. Oh, we are also going to see the fault line coming out. That's going to get a lot of people dazed, especially Psyche, who's been doing a lot of heavy impact. That Rolling Thunder coming out as well. Psyche getting a nice clean shot onto Hilton to bring that immediately down to a 5v4 case. Once again, running that Sheriff. Ooh, Frank gonna get two with his Bulldog. Javi and Mueda also finding two. Javi finding a second onto Case, and it's down to a 1v3 as Mueda finishes that off, finding it on Nami to bring a 9th round back to Fisher Ultra.
Yeah, I think you were right in terms of abilities there. We saw a lot being thrown out in mid, so maybe you just predicted. Yeah, whatever the coach. You should be the coach. Maybe
I don't know. I don't think I am in the right elo to ever be a coach.
Nah, you got it. You just gotta sound confident.
My typical calls are like, yeah,
guys, he's there.
Yeah, guys, you can go there and do that. I'm gonna stay here and do this. And they're like, what is there and who is here?
That makes perfect sense, and they should just be able to pick it up.
Exactly. Like, it's not my fault you don't understand me.
But yeah, a little bit of a light buy again coming out from SNHU. Losing that force there is just going to set them back a little bit more. And Frank is actually going to start things off with a nice Sheriff headshot onto Psyche here, slowing down their push. We see that full may not push up as much as they want to, but I could also be mistaken here.
Shock Dart trying to catch Hilton out, but Hilton cannot be stopped as he gets that nice kill onto Cam Lord. He's also going to be able to use that to pick that gun up, and that is exactly what he needs. Oh, we see Frank also coming up with that neural theft. Once again, so much information for SNHU, and this is just so beneficial for them. In this 5v3, it is looking great for SNHU currently.
Yeah, I mean, getting those 2 headshots right off the rip and being able to just... Again, they knocked off their duelist and one of their most important initiators here. With Breach, you do have his blind, but you don't get any information on where the defenders are here. So I wonder if they're just going to try and knock down this timer here or wait for SNHU to push. But it's not looking like they're moving anytime soon.
Ooh. Oh, Hilton was almost able to get them, but Frank going really well with his Sheriff, is able to find 2. Mueda, however, also finding 2 more of his own. It was a Cypher showdown for just a second, but in this 2v1 situation, it is all up to Mueda. And we see SNHU has control of the spike right now. They have it on B. They know that Mueda has to come to them. So if they're able to play for time, especially with Seiko just staying in main, it could work out really, really well for them.
Absolutely. We see him right in the smoke here. He's about to push out. They got caught a glimpse of him, but just a spray through the smoke, and hopefully you hit him is also a good option here. Finally, SNHU is able to break down that long streak that Felt had there. I believe that was 9. Is that 9 wins?
That is 9 wins in a row. Yeah.
9 wins in a row for full here. So if SNHU is able to get this, 9-3, there's a certain curse that happens, We'll see how this round will go here. Both team members are able to buy up fully for SNHU. K still has his Rolling Thunder. Seiko does have his Omen ultimate, and Nami has his Blade Storm here. Very strong ultimates as well as information. A lot can be gathered here for SNHU, but Bolt is not looking to play around here. They're getting pretty serious, and they're...
The Rolling Thunder coming out almost immediately, trying to clear up a little bit of space. Oh, Psyche going to get a bit of information using his Blast Pack to get up. Psyche and Mueda going to find the first 2 picks of the round really, really fast. Seiko finding one onto Psyche. Rex going to get another one onto Case. It is a 4v2 already as Javi brings it down to a 3v1 with Frank finding Mueda as well. It is all up to Frank in this 3v1 situation. We see Cam Lord. He is going to try to get that plant down onto A, and it's very tricky. Rex, Cam Lord, it's just not enough in the end.
Yeah, looks like we're gonna see. Okay, I was just waiting for the team kill. But regardless, here we are gonna see a swap over here, and that's 10-2. If SNHU is able to, continue their pistol win streak, they'll be able to kind of clutch up a little bit, you know, get that little bit of a gun buy, have a better chance of winning here. But it looks like in that last round, SNHU predicted the push, and they were just so excited to get these picks here and just knock everyone down. But unfortunately, I don't think they realized that the whole entire team was there. Maybe they expected a few lurkers here and there, but SNHU is now on the attack. So I'm really wondering what their move is going to be here, especially being down by 8 rounds, and they need to catch up without having Volt win 3 rounds in a row, or just 3 rounds in general. So I'm really excited to see what they're gonna plan to do here.
Standing ahead.
Looks like Fisher is actually playing super aggressive, especially on the A side. We're going to see Psyche and Camlord push up so far, but Hilton just rotating away just in time as Javi holding down B side. He's going to catch a few glimpses of people through the dark cover, but not quite able to get anyone as of yet. Hilton, however, finding that first pick onto Rex. That's going to be massive for SNHU as they start to push out onto his side. Nami also going to find Muera. Javi goes down to Sequo. It is a 5v2 in the blink of an eye, genuinely. Case gonna get that spike down onto side as well, and it's looking very favorable for SNHU as it's all up to Psyche and Camlord to try to get this retake back and just get more space, get back onto the site.
Unfortunately, they are separated here, so they can't trade each other out too well. It's just isolated fights that they have to work around with. Hilton is going to get Camlord. It's all down to Psych, and Franck, just able to be there at the right time, is going to get that headshot onto him as well. And that first pistol round is going to SNHU. I think you might be right about the curses here. You know, SNHU, they've been winning these rounds here, so now it's only the matter if they can win the second round. You know, this is not too much of a setback for Full here. We saw them win the second, and they were just able to get a huge snowball onto that. So I wonder if SNHU is really just, it looks like they're just going all in. They're taking their chances. They're gonna go and buy as much as they can here, as heavy as they can, and hopefully that can be enough to stop Fault's share of push that they had before. But they are on the defense, so things could change up a little bit.
What an interesting smoke.
It's a nice little one-way that they
Yeah, oh my god, maybe I should start learning how to play Omen just so I can use my dark cover to make it, you know, one way.
Yeah, you know,
I love one ways.
That's like guaranteed kills. You know,
Yeah.
Cypher, Omen, you know, Viper, you got all of them. You know,
I always get scolded for, you know, only shooting on feet, but now if it's a one way, I have an excuse to shoot at feet, so it's wonderful. But now I'm gonna get that super quick entry onto the site. The paint shell is gonna delay Case just slightly, but it's still enough for SNHU to push onto site. We see most of Fisher stuck either in Boba or in Market. We've got a lot of breach utility coming out with that fault line and the aftershock. Nami gonna find one, Muera finding 2, Case finding 2 of his own, third with 1 onto Psyche. Javi gonna find this last onto Hilton, and now it is all up to Javi in this 1v2 situation. Case is down so low. A lot of information coming out, but Case gonna finish that off. Nice 4K with the Guardian, and the 4th round for SNHU. This is exactly what they need, especially if they were looking for a big comeback.
Absolutely here. I mean, a great usage of that fault line from Case there too. If he did not use that, Javi had the Vandal. He was up and ready for at that headshot level, waiting for the attackers to peek him there. But lucky for him, lucky for SNHU, he was stunned. So, like you said, this is going to be big for SNHU. However, Fault is still able to match up in terms of guns and abilities here, so they're going to be able to fight evenly with what SNHU has. So it really depends on how this round goes. This round will start the biggest snowball, or maybe the smallest, depending on how everything works out for SNHU. But it looks like they're taking things pretty slow here. They're not rushing as fast as they used to. Again, they want a guaranteed round here, so they're going to take their time, wait. Maybe for Fault to push, maybe just, you know, draw out abilities, playing default. Those things can be really big in terms of winning here. And Muera and Case right now are just so close to seeing each other in their lines here. So
yeah, it looks like Muera almost got caught out, but you know, he's still able to get the better hand of that trade, finally finding Nami, but does fall to Case in the end. Javi stuck on site, gonna try to get that dark cover out, and you know, a little bit of a paranoia, try to get it out. Hilton gonna find one onto Psyche as Javi and Rex each find their own onto Seiko and Hilton. Franck finally going to find Javi back for that trade. It's down to a 2v2. We see the spike down as well. Oh, really nice information onto Case. We see that Owl Drone also coming out, giving even more information to Fisher. And sometimes information is all you need to win a round. You know, you kind of know where they are. You know what to expect. And as we see, both Camlord and Rex each able to find their own, get that spike diffused, and get that 11th round.
It's almost like they weren't even like trading for each other. They were just looking at 2 different angles at the same time, and they were just like they just caught both of them right then and there. So I mean, it worked out for them there, and now they're gonna be in a really good spot. And SNHU again, they're gonna be in a decent spot. It's not where you really want to be, especially this late in the game and full at 11 rounds here. SNHU, they have to work with what they got. They have to decide if they want a full buy now and maybe not have enough for the last round, or if they want to save here, because that can really be the biggest decider, because Fault does have a low economy as well. If they do win this round, they'll guarantee Vandal, so it looks like SNHU is just going to buy up all the way to knock down any economies, so they are even as possible for the last round if Fault is able to win this round.
Ooh, Nami getting a really, really nice first pick onto Psyche. And, like I said, every time you get that duelist out, it just makes you feel a little bit better. Camlord, Rex, each finding 2 to bring that immediately down to a 1v4. That is heavy, heavy damage onto SNHU. And it's all up to Franck, his Sheriff, and even if he's able to get to the spike, which he probably won't be able to, there's too much space, and they know that that's the only place he can come to.
And plus they're playing up and down there. It's going to be really hard to hit both of them with one bullet, especially with both of them being headshots. I mean, it's just going to be a little difficult here. But now SNHU, they did what they could. They bought up as much as they can. They have the ultimates to use. So I wonder if they just, they just go through it. They ball through it. They go as fast as they can. They use the ultimate and they get plant down. That might be the move, especially with the guns they have, since you want to play close with this. So expecting that they're going to do that, Full is kind of in the right spot to be in with 3 defenders on B. But 2 of them stunned right away here. And SNHU, they are not slowing down. They are pushing in.
This is a full B push for them. But that Rolling Thunder coming out could just delay them slightly. Oh, that tripwire going to do a lot of damage to Case. Nami going to be able to find one.
Wow,
but we see an almost instant massacre coming out from Fisher Ultra. And we do see Fisher get this first map for their own.
Yeah, I mean, that was a very, very quick last round there, but a lot to learn from as well. SNHU got a good taste on how, Fault is able to play on attack, on defense there. So depending on how this break goes, I wonder if they'll be able to take that time, recoup a little bit and prepare themselves for a set.
I just realized that Fault is Fisher Ultra.
Yeah.
I was like trying to figure out for so long, what is Fault?
I just realized it was faster to say.
But no, exactly like what you said, that was a really interesting first map, I feel like, to start off on. I feel like we see a lot of Sunset, either it's the first or the second map, but I feel like we're more likely to go to Lotus as the first map.
Yeah.
But, let's see what we have lined up for us in the next few games if we get into game 3.
Right.
So, Ascent.
It's
our favorite paper map.
Yeah, and it is a Fisher pick as well. So that also means that Fisher is preferred of this map, just a little bit of a common between these 2 teams here. So I wonder if they're gonna be doing sorry. I wonder if they're both going to be doing well.
I saw the thought just walk straight out of your head. It packed its bags for the next 3 business days, and it walked straight out. But I hear that Agent Select is ready, so let's go straight into it. There's no point in just dilly-dallying if we are all ready to get straight back. And these players are just absolutely raring to go. We see SNHU already locked in, Sequel running that Omen, Hilton on the Deadlock, Nami on the Jet, once again, Franck running that Raise in Case back onto the Breach. On Fisher, we have...
We can't see the names, but it's okay. We got KO, Jet, Omen, Killjoy, and Silver here. We're seeing, I feel like this is what Full has. That's a typical lineup that SNHU would have. I feel like we have not seen a lot of Deadlock. Hilton on Deadlock is a bit of a change, especially on Ascent here. We have seen him play it on Lotus, but never Ascent. So I'm wondering how well that's going to work for him there. But typically for Full, I mean, they have the standard lineup. You have the Killjoy ultimate, you have the KO to lock stuff down, and this I feel like, again, this is a new lineup. So yeah. I'm really excited to see how SNHU is going to play this, especially with 2 duelists here.
We've got a little bit of change up as well. We see Psyche changing from duelist Race to duelist Jet, Javi back on the Omen, Camlord also on the Sova once again. Muera going to swap out his, what was it, Cypher, if I'm not mistaken?
So.
Cypher for Killjoy, and Rex trying out the KO. So once again, we see a few of the same characters, but we are also seeing quite a few new agents. And like you said, I'm very excited to see Hilton on the Deadlock.
Yeah.
I believe that Deadlock definitely is it could be an up-and-coming meta, and Hilton has been playing the Deadlock really, really well, especially as if you look at his last few games. Like it's been doing really well. But we're seeing a pretty, it's not as quick as I thought it would be, but we are going to see a big catwalk fight with Seiko going to find one onto Psyche, and Camlord following that up immediately, following 2 picks onto SNHU. It's down to a 4v3, and we're seeing a lot more utility already being used. We saw that knife point come out for a little bit of information, suppressing Nami all the way over to A site, that grab net coming down as well. It's a lot of information, and Camlord going to find Hilton for that 3rd kill. Ooh, Frank finally finding Moira. Also finding Rex. This is great for SNHU. That 2K is especially exactly what they needed to stop that push onto a B site. Javi going to try to push out and finally going to take Frank down, and it is all up to Nami, slowly rotating through mid. He's going to try to get the upper hand through them. Going to go through market slowly, getting that pick onto Camlord and Javi too. Look at this. Look at these pistol
I know,
rounds.
right? I mean, I think, yeah. I mean, this is they're on a streak right now. I mean, this is the 3rd pistol round today and a streak that they've won here. So they're doing pretty good.
Maybe by breaking the pistol curse, we've activated another curse.
They lose the second one, which in my opinion is a lot worse than the first one. So we'll see if they are able to break that curse that you have placed upon them.
I have not
Kaylee.
placed any curse upon them.
Who's ever praying on SNHU's downfall? Congrats. But yeah, I'm really excited to see how this round's gonna go. Looks like they're starting a little bit slow as well here. Javi and Nami might have an altercation pretty soon.
Oh, the aftershock coming up going to leave Javi a little bit worse for wear, but Nami's got to be super careful when he's walking out, especially as he's surprised he's not going to have his dash to get away. Moira going to find that first pick onto Hilton to open that round up, and it looks like even though Moira is all the way over at B, with all 4 members leaning towards an A push, clearing Hilton away, it was good for frags, but not that great in terms of impact. Oh, Nami getting a nice shot onto both Camlord and Javi. That is going to be really, really good to bring that down to a 1v4 as Frank is able to find his pick onto Moira. It is all up to Rex. He is with his classic. He looks straight into Nami with that Vandal and falls to him for his 3rd kill of this round.
Yeah, looks like they were able to, break this curse. And they're actually going to be pretty ahead here. Looks like they just did not need a break at all here. They wanted to get right back into the action. They're like, we got to set back up. Their spirits are high, and it's paying off for them. Full is now going to be able to buy up pretty well here. And SNHU, they have their bonus weapons, and I wonder if they're going to be playing any different than they normally would with their typical guns, because normally with Vandals we see them play pretty back here. If they rush with the bonus, could be of a little bit of a different round, maybe catch full off guard here. So really all depends on how fast or slow this is going to go. And we see 2 members of SNHU hiding in wine. That is
I feel like they know that they're in wine, and that paranoia coming out from Seiko. He's gonna, that is a beautiful shot onto Javi. I'm sure he did not expect that out at all, especially since he didn't get caught by that paranoia. But Seiko getting that first pick of the round, it's gonna open that round up really, really nicely for SNHU. And we can't forget that Nami has still been left on wide.
Did not make an appearance here, but he may be making one as he tries to swing over. Oh, it's so scary. He is able to get one out to Camlord. Now they know that he is in the area, and it will fall to Nami's hands as well. And Hilton will get his own pick here. Moira is the only one left on B, and Hilton with the Sheriff again, getting some nice headshots, is able to win that, and that is their bonus round. So their fault is going to be very, very low in terms of economy here. It's almost as if the tables literally just did like an exact 180. Like they turned. Everything is different now. SNHU is now high on the economy. They're up on the guns, the scoreboard. I mean, they're doing pretty well, especially on defense. I mean, on the defense, that's huge here. And actually, they don't have any ultimates, but Sova on Volt does have an ultimate, so that can be big, especially if they want to play a little bit of a post plant or just do a blind ultimate to get some picks right away. But really whatever they want to do, and which would help them in the best here.
A little bit of a really interesting altercation coming out with Psyche getting the better of it, being able to find Hilton, but just dashing away into the wall.
I mean, I don't know what the plan was there, but it worked out. Psyche is on 30 HP with a Vandal, and I don't know how he got that headshot, but he did, and he's just going to be holding this angle onto Heaven.
Nami getting a really nice pick onto Moira to bring that back down to a 4v4, just evening out the numbers slightly. We see Psyche is down so low. He is at 30 HP. That is one stray bullet on a lonely day. So let's see if SNHU is able to use that to their best advantage. As we see that paranoia coming out from Seiko able to find one onto Psyche. Rex finding that pick onto Seiko. Nami and Case each finding their own to bring that down to a 1v3. It is all up to Camlord, who is stuck outside main. And, you know, he's going to try and use the shock darts and his recon vault, but in the end, it's not enough. And he falls to Nami for yet again another 3K. And SNHU, they're bringing their roll back up.
I really want to see a Sova shock dart lineup. I just really want to see it.
I know one Sova shock dart lineup, but since I'm not playing, you're never going to see it.
I know. Well, in game, I know I've made Viper for a long time, so I know every single Viper lineup for Ascent here. Obviously, one of my favorite maps, but I really want to see a Silver one come out, especially for Post Plant or Killjoy. Even we have so many people that have lineups, and it's just we're not seeing the lineups. Again, it's probably not the best thing to use for that. So. But this round, again, Full is going to be pretty pushed up here near mid, and SNHU is going to be right there to fight fire with fire.
A lot of information coming out for Camlord. He knows that everyone from SNHU is now at Tiles. Hilton going to find that first pick onto Rex, Psyche, Moira, each finding their own. Case finding a pick onto Psyche, Camlord finding his trade onto Case. It is a 2v3 situation as Camlord finds one more onto Nami, and Frank unfortunately falls to Javi to give Fisher Ultra, I wanted to say Fulcrum for some reason.
Yeah, but it looks like
give Fisher Ultra their first round in this new map.
Yeah, it looks like SNHU got a little bit ahead of themselves there, you know, pushing out pretty strong on defense with full guns. I mean, I'm not sure if they were trying to catch Volt off guard or not, but whatever it is, they went back to their old roots there, and it just did not work out too well for them. So I'd imagine they'd try and keep it slow there, you know, not really go full attack with what they did last time, but I could be wrong because they're all stacked in mid again, but Full is all stacked towards A.
That barrier mesh, you know, I think that's just another reason why Deadlock is so useful, because not only do you have to use so many bullets to try and get out, we see that GravNet coming out through as well. Hilton's able to lock down the entire side almost entirely by himself. We are also, however, going to see that lockdown come out, so they really want to commit to this A push, and that's going to force away, but Hilton to find Moira through the smoke. I think that's just what, you know, you get that awareness as a really good player.
Yeah, definitely. Just
Javi gonna find her onto Case, Seiko finding that pick onto Javi. Nami finding two more to bring that down to a 1v3, and Rex almost finishing that out on his own, but Seiko is right there to guarantee that he gets that trade onto Nami. And, you know, SNHU is bringing it back. They gave Fisher one round, but, you know, that's it. They're like, this is our map.
Absolutely. It seems like for SNHU, they're just... I said it before, you know, last time I said, you know, they're really aggressive, then we saw them play really slow, and now they're playing really fast, but they're not playing so fast to where it's aggressive, if that makes sense. They're pushing up in the right amount of space, and they're not trying to really go into their spawn, you know, they're not like just looking for kills all the time. They're playing smart, they're playing slow, and it looks like the flanks that they did last time worked out really well in their favor, just because of the KO ultimate and catching them off guard. I mean, that was everything there. So really, Waito's pushing up into B. Yeah, that's what's happening right now.
It's been a long day for all of us. But, you know, nothing like having a nice game of Valorant as your nightcap, am I right?
Oh, absolutely.
Psyche, he is going to bust out his Blade Storm, so going to be looking for a lot of, you know, you want a lot of value out of that. You really do. The dark cover coming down is going to just effectively block off most of Fisher Ultra. And, oh, the GravNet as well, holding Moira in place and giving so much information to Hilton as he tries to walk.
Oh, you got him.
We have the Annihilation coming out. You know, the Annihilation is just so funny to me. Like, I hate being caught in it, but Hilton gonna find one onto Rex, finally getting Moira. Camlord finding one onto Seiko, and Psyche using his knives to get one, but finally falling to Nami. It is now a 3v2. Camlord and Rex are on site. Sorry, and Javi are on site. They're going to try to get the spike down, and it looks like they are able to as Camlord finds that pick onto Nami. Dark cover coming down. We've got the paint shells as well, and there's not too many places you can run to.
Oh,
SNHU knows where they have to go, and you know they're not giving them the opportunity to isolate them in a 1v1, which is great. That is exactly what they need to do. Frank going to be caught in the corner. Oh, finally finding Javi. My hands got sticky for a little bit of a second. That is very, very losable.
Yeah, I mean, Frank there just left on 14 HP. If their Omen was able to spray transfer a little bit better, he would have been able to get that kill. But SNHU still standing strong here, you know, able to just lose one round and still continue up the streak that they've had. And Full now has to play Hero Guardian here, and that's all they can really work with. But we have seen them do very, very well with their sheriffs here. Not to mention, again, they have another Sova ultimate ready and lined up. They have
Fury could be coming in really, really useful.
Oh yeah.
We have the From the Shadows as well on both teams, Showstopper and Bladestorm on SNHU. So definitely a lot of abilities, a lot of utility to be played around with. But once again, a really slow start to the round, and I'm really enjoying seeing this.
Oh yeah.
You know, letting both teams kind of push into each other, taking it really slow, because we see all the action towards the second half of the round, and it's really great to see how teams can just rally together.
Definitely.
As we see Frank trying to push towards the swordsman. Oh, Moeda getting that super nice shot onto Frank, but Nami right there to get his trade onto him. Javi gonna try and use his shrouded step to get onto his side, but Seikwo right there to trade him out. Psyche gonna get that Guardian onto Seikwo, and you know, with that Hero Guardian, like you said, Psyche able to use that, and now picking up that Vandal from Seikwo, it's great for him.
Absolutely here.
Using that to find a pick onto both Hilton and Case.
That's 3 picks of SNHU down there, with one remaining member left. Nami is the only one. He has Bladestorm. He's at pretty much full HP. Is able to get a nice headshot onto Psyche here. 8 bullets left remaining, and still not a lot of damage taken, but both members of Full are hiding here. The blind is coming out, and unfortunately it looks like maybe a misclick happened there, but he tried to get away, and Camlord just gonna stop him from flying any higher than he needs to be, and gonna be able to win that second round for Fisher Ultimate there. And they're doing pretty well now. I wonder if this could mean that there's gonna be a little bit of a comeback here. You know, they've pushed in pretty strong. I wonder if that's gonna stop anytime soon, or maybe they're gonna keep up the same type of thing. Because Full dominated the last map, and now, you know, seeing them struggle a little bit, I wonder if they're just gonna change anything that's been working for them. It seems like they do a similar thing all the time, where they're either together or separate. They play for picks, and it's not much different from that. So it's really, really confusing to see how they play each and every round and how they go about wherever they're going to go.
Psyche might walk straight into Case. Oh, what an incredible shot coming out of Psyche for that first pick of the round. But Nami is right there to get that trade onto him. Hilton finding a really nice shot onto Camlord as well to bring their numbers down to a 4v3. And it seems like a lot of the times, you know, we are seeing these rounds and they're all just playing for picks, and it's going really well for them.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Hilton almost getting caught out, and unfortunately does fall to Rex. That flashpoint, you know, in the end, it's so hard to get out of.
Absolutely.
Moeda gonna find Frank, and Nami finding his third onto both Rex and Moeda to bring that down to a 1v3. It's all up to Javi, and we've seen Javi win these before, so I would not put it past him, especially with Nami being so low HP.
Oh yeah, but he does have his ultimate here, so it looks like he's gonna be playing a little sneaky, running all over to be there, and he's just gonna teleport right onto bomb and over onto site. I wonder if SNH knows about the glitch, or I don't know if it's a glitch, but if you stand on the bomb, he will not be able to pick it up in his ultimate form. So as he makes his way over, he could
I'm
just
so
be flanking.
nervous. He could be coming through market. Nami falls to Javi.
That's crazy. I really thought he was going to use his ultimate there, but I guess he just did not need to, just running over and attacking from a different angle. I mean, Nami had the right idea of where he was coming from, but unfortunately just did not see him until the very, very last moment.
I saw him wrapping around through market, and I was so nervous.
It was a scary time for everyone there. So now they're 6-3. Full is winning on 2 times in a row here. If they're able to keep that up, they're going to be looking pretty well in order for for rounds here, because if they win the next 3, it will be 6-6, and you won't be too high and you won't be too low. The game on who's ever on the attack and defense on the second half is just going to be a little bit more rushed for them here. So
ooh, Seiko going to get caught in the knife point, and that's going to give them just a little bit of information, especially suppressing an Omen who has smokes. That's really, really good for the opposition team. So it's looking pretty good for Fisher right now. The Boombot coming out, going to get a lot of information for Frank. He knows that at least one is there. We might be looking at him walk right into Psyche, but choosing to withdraw just for now. And it's so surprising because it just doesn't seem to tally up with Snoo's so hyper aggressive nature of trying to take every single fight.
Yeah, now they're just backing off a little bit here. Looks like they're just trying to create some noise, bring most of the opponents over onto B side here. As most of full, it looks like they're going to be committing towards this A site, or at least catwalk as a push here, and they're just trying to find the sweet spot of where all the defenders are. They made some noise. They could be a little spread out, but now for all they know, they could be back in their positions right away here. So it all depends on the timer and where the defenders of SNHU is going to be. Psych is going to peek out a little bit, draw some more attention, bring that understanding that they may be pushing towards A here, but Frank is going to be staying there right on B and get that pick onto Moira.
Oh, massive, massive ult coming out of Case as well. That Rolling Thunder going to just knock everyone up, allow people to get their picks in. Seiko will find one on Javi, and Camlord finding 2 of his each. Not...
Oh! Nami getting 2 picks right off the bat right there, and Seiko left on site is going to get that pick onto Rex there, and SNHU is going to hold their ground, winning that 7-3, and that's going to be pretty good for them, because now the highest score they can get is 7-5. So they're doing pretty well here. It's not going to be that 6-6 like we mentioned before here. So, and Nami's popping off. I mean, look at his kill.
Yeah.
He's 20-5 right now. I mean, he's feeling himself. He's feeling good. He just uses Blade Storm, guaranteed like 2 picks, and it's just amazing how well he's doing.
Absolutely. We do see Nami just really getting his and helping the rest of his team as well, and it's looking great for them because it is working out.
Absolutely, and now Frank is suppressed here. Psych is going to pop the Blade Storm of his own, but he gets shut down. The showstopper is just not used, unfortunately.
That showstopper would have done so much damage. I'm actually so devastated. I would have loved to see that, but Javi going to find that second pick onto Seiko. That's going to bring that down to a 5v3, and it's looking a little bit scary for SNHU. We are going to see Case try and throw a flashpoint out, but in the end, is that enough to deter them? And, the answer is not really, as they've started to split up slightly. They know that they have the advantage in numbers. They know that they can spread out to wherever they want to go. So it's now a waiting game, essentially. Oh, Nami getting a nice pick onto Psyche. He doesn't have his Blade Storm anymore.
Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah. So he's just left without it now, and it looks like Moira did stay back here. He does have his ultimate. I wonder if they're going to use that to try and stall the plant a little bit longer here since they are on site, but Case is just going to be holding this area, and they have to wait for SNHU to try and get this retake. Their Omen is still top cat, so I wonder if he's just waiting for anything to happen there, but we do see that ultimate pop out as well, and
we've been seeing so much so much value coming out of lockdown so far. Hilton and KCG able to find their own. Rex finding his trade onto Hilton. Unfortunately, Case gets detained. Javi putting Case out of his misery and getting yet again another kill, and it is all up to Nami. Nami's gonna find one on Javi, and he is literally on 1 HP.
Exactly.
And it's him versus Rex. He knows Rex is in the back. Is he going to be able to get Rex in time? He's running out of time, especially in terms of spike, but he gets a crispy shot.
Nice little one pick.
In the end, it's just not enough. You always have that little back and forth shuffle, like, are you coming out? Am I going in? Am I going to see you?
It's always that, and that's always how you get them to stall with the bomb there. I mean, all you had to do was just shoot a little bit, Rex just swing back and forth, and it worked pretty well in their favor there. Now winning things 7-4, and I believe this is last round?
Yep, this is the last round,
right?
And a half.
Yeah. The last round and a half here. SNHU, they're going to be forcing up as much as they can, as well as full here. In terms of ultimates, we did not get to see that soul stopper, unfortunately, but Hilton does have his annihilation again. KM Lord with the Hunter's Fury, and KO with his ultimate, just making everyone lose. Did we just see a cross map with that net, with that grab?
The grab net?
The grab net?
Yeah, I think we might have.
That's insane. That's why that's wild there. Psyche is gonna get a pick onto him. Javi's gonna have his back and get his pick on Psycho as well.
Yeah, that paranoia coming out from Seiko just almost rendered them useless, but in the end, it was just not enough. And like you said, we are going to see that null command come out from Rex, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Oh, Frank getting a nice, clean pick onto Psyche. That Hunter's Fury also coming out. Oh, running out of bullets. We're coming in with a classic right click.
It works.
Cam Lord finding two onto both Hilton in case it is all up to Frank, but unfortunately, he is going to fall to Muera. But what a great last attempt.
Right? I mean, the Spectre didn't work. You know, why use it when you have the free gun in your second hand? The right-click master, the classic there. Just right-clicking your way through it. Was able to get that pick, but unfortunately was not able to clutch out the round there. SNHU is now going to be on the attack here. They are up by 2 rounds, but again, this is a pistol. So if Full is able to win this round and maybe they're favored for the second one, they're going to be right back up to speed at 7-7 here. So if SNHU wins this round, it's going to be really good for them. They are going to be up by a pretty good amount if they're again able to win these two rounds here. But for how they've been playing on Sunset, you know, it's been really weird how they've been playing. On defense on Ascent, they've been doing good because they've been keeping that aggression. So I wonder if they're going to try and do the opposite on the attack here. Hilton doesn't want to do that. Hilton wants to get up right in their face, but the rest of the team, they're taking it pretty slow here, waiting for Hilton to try and bring all the attention towards them, and it's working so well for them.
Oh, beautiful shots coming out of Hilton onto both Javi and Psyche, and that is going to clear the round up so nicely as Nami is able to find his own onto Rex. He brings that down immediately to a 5v2. Those 2 shots coming out from Hilton could have just won this pistol round
Literally.
yet again.
I mean, that's the defenders of A-Side down, and now Nami is up at heaven there, shooting into their spawn, getting KM Lord. Mueda is the last one remaining here, and there's not much for him to do. He's kind of just stuck here. He's just got to push out, but Hilton with the jump peek, and Nami following up gets 2 picks right there. Frank able to stay back, you know, not jump in, like, which is weird because you'd expect Raze to jump in. But he stayed back and he was able to get that pick onto him there. SNHU again, he's winning the first round. This is the fourth in a row here.
Fourth
okay,
pistol round in
now
a row.
can they win the second one? That's the biggest thing here. So I mean, they won it last half. It's only fair if they win the second one. I guess that's the best way to do it. But it looks like they're going for a completely opposite way. Instead of Hilton making noise, it looks like their Omen is going to be the one to make noise here, and they're all going to be pushing up onto B. But it looks like Volt has read that move completely with 4 defenders on B here. They just they're ready for this push.
Hilton, however, going to go in guns blazing, find first onto Muera. And, you know, their aggressiveness is really paying off. Nami going to find Javi in that small little altercation at boat. Frank and Nami just finishing that round off by themselves.
It's absolutely done. It's gone with. Their Omen, Seiko is still stuck in A main there, and the rest of the team was just able to clear out sight. And that's worked out pretty well for them. So
you see that Odin coming out, though. I just want to point that Odin out. And you know, as you love saying, Ascent does have paper walls.
It does. I mean,
so
and you're Sova. You're on defense. You have to have an Odin. If you don't, you're just not playing Sova properly. I'm sorry. That's just you're just not here. So again, I wonder SNHU. They've been pushing up together recently, so it looks like they're not going to change that anytime soon.
That knife point's going to get so much information for Rex if they were all grouping up together. And as we see, Nami unfortunately does fall to Rex for that first kill. Case, however, going to get that trade onto Rex, which allows SNHU to get onto his site, but you know, not without its casualties. How he's finding 2 onto 3.
Oh my.
Oh my goodness.
Standing
what
his
an
ground.
Cleanup from Javi and Muera. You know, someone called the cleanup crew because they just absolutely dominated them as they tried to get onto a site.
They sweeped them. There you go. I mean, that was a very fast round there. I don't think SNHU really expected that from them. They were doing pretty well in terms of the aggression there, you know, pushing up together and all just running out together was just able to work out. But this time they didn't have a lurker, so they weren't able to draw out any any defenders from either side here. So looks like SNHU is going to be taking things a little bit slower here, having a little bit more of a split push, being able to trade each other out if anything happens. We do see Cam Lord with that Odin, the devastating Odin as always here. And SNHU just taking their time, really looking for these picks coming out from full here, waiting for them to get a little bit impatient. Rex is swinging out a little bit more than he normally is, but again, just waiting for the right moment to really step in here. We're seeing a lot of ultimates come out as well from SNHU. A lot to clear out these corners, these little areas that you would expect defenders to be in. But unfortunately, now they can't use it when they start to push up over onto site here. And looks like they're going to be moving over on to B site.
Oh, Moira is going to start that round off quite late and find a pick onto Nami. And, you know, with Nami putting up incredible numbers so far, he's got 27 compared to the rest of, you know, following behind with 11, 12. It's a big hit for sure.
Absolutely.
But I think that Hilton, who has also been having incredible...
Oh, the annihilation he got, Cam Lord.
Just as I was saying it, that annihilation, especially getting Cam Lord, who is capable of getting so much information, but Moira finding 3, that's incredible, as Hilton is also able to find 1 more to get them onto the site. It is him and Sequo on site.
Ooh.
Finding a 3rd onto Psyche. We see that barrier mesh coming out as well, giving him just a little bit more space onto stairs as Sequo tries to wrap around. Javi knows where Hilton is, but he's going to try and catch Sequo as he sends that paranoia out. We see the spike come down. Sequo able to find Javi. It is up to them. It is also up to Rex now on the Fisher Ultra side to try and get them. We see that really, really nice clean kill coming out of Rex to get Sequo out of the game. It is a 1v1 between Rex and Hilton. Both players have been putting up really good numbers so far in this game. You know, obviously the spike has been planted. Hilton's sitting a little bit prettier. He's going to get first contact with Rex. Rex is left on lower HP.
Oh, he's not on, but he's on site. This is just a nail biter there, using his buildings, his environmental, just shooting right through it. He is going to be able to win that 10th round for SNHU, you know, closing the gap towards 13. And, you know, this game has literally just been like a literal 180. I said that before, I'll say it again. It's just been a literal 180 here. SNHU has just been doing really well on attack and the defense here. It looks like they're just able to figure out how Volt was playing, and they're just working around it. They are the ones playing different. They're not matching the playstyle that they're playing every single time. You know, they're moving around. They're not committing right away. They're being smart about it. And KM Lord, again, with that Odin, I mean, you can never go wrong with it. We'll get a couple shots onto Frank there, but nothing too devastating to worry about for SNHU, and they're just playing slow once again, you know, really not going too fast, just figuring out where the defenders are and using their abilities to do so here. I mean, if we look at both defenders, they're not even on site. They're over onto Cubby, holding that up and down in case they decide to do a mid push.
Oh, that Sonic sensor coming out as well as the grab net. Psyche going to find that first pick onto Frank all the way at Tiles. Hilton, however, going to find that pick onto Javi as well. Really good trades coming out so far. That grab net, once again coming out, it's going to get both Rex and Moira. Nami couldn't find that pick onto Moira, and it's all up to Rex. That barrier mesh coming up, that's going to separate just a few of them, but they are able to shoot it out. Now they're kind of just grouping up towards tree, you know, especially Psyche. They're just kind of waiting. We also see that Owl drone coming out. Going to get a lot of information. Camlin's been doing really, really good getting information for his team so far.
Yeah, and it looks like as they start to push out, Nami's just going to hold that angle down, get 2 nice picks onto Volt there, and a final last one onto Rex. That is 4 members of Volt down. I just want to see how many kills Nami has right now. He's doing so well. 31-9. He doesn't even have double digits death. He's the only person in the match to have that, and he's doing insane. I mean, he has the Bladestorm up and ready. I wonder if he's going to change that, or if he's going to use that right now or for the last round here, depending on how it goes. But, I mean, Volt is actually not going to be buying up. We saw in Sunset that SNHU would buy up when Volt was at round 11. And now they're going to be doing the opposite. They're saving so they have enough for SNHU in case they are going to win this round, which they're a favorite to. And if they win this round, they'll have enough for the next one, the match point, if I may.
Once again, the start of a very slow round. Oh, Moira is going to take almost full contact with Sequo, but, you know, with Nami and Sequo both there, they ensure that they have that trade. Case and Hilton each able to find their own, as Rex is able to find one onto Case. Frank finishes that up with one onto Cam Lord, and Hilton right there to get that last pick onto Rex. What a nice match point round coming out of SNHU. They were not happy with the way that the last map went, and they were waiting to take this map back.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was, not to mention, it was also Volt's, it was their pick as well for Ascent here.
Yeah, this was Fisher Ultra's pick.
Yeah, and it looks like, I believe Sunset was SNHU's pick, so it was just backwards. They wanted they wanted the opposite things there. So SNHU, it looks like they're gonna be going a little bit fast. I only say that because the bomb is not gonna be in anyone's hands here. It looks like they're gonna be pushing up pretty fast
The
here.
Annihilation coming out back
He
again.
got
They're
him.
not gonna get him through that. Oh, they're gonna try and get him through, but Nami gonna find a pick onto Muera. Ooh, falling to Psyche and his off as his Annihilation is finally able to find one. Rex also gonna find that pick onto Frank. It is back down to a 3v3. Hilton gonna find Psyche and bring that op out. That Gravna not quite finding anyone looking towards CT. Oh no, Javi is going to take Case down, and now he has complete control of the spike. Hilton on his third kill. It is once again up to Hilton and Seikwo. Javi might walk straight into Seikwo.
Oh, no.
But Seikwo goes down to Javi. That paranoia coming out of Seikwo just, kind of gave his position away.
Yeah, I mean, but if he did hit it, it would have been a confirmed kill for him here. But Hilton only at 12 HP, and with an operator, he just has to line up the shot perfectly, and he will get that win.
Beautiful 4K coming out of Hilton for that 13th round and first map heading over to SNHU. This is exactly what they needed to push them back into the game. Obviously, morale is going to be restored.
Oh, yeah.
Mental is going to be back up. And following such a hard game, well, good for Fisher, bad for SNHU. It's just kind of reversed, and now they're more on even footing.
Yeah.
And
not to mention Lotus is up next. Yeah. And we've been playing on Lotus, so I can only imagine that they're riled up.
I always like saying that SNHU has a preference for 3 site maps.
Always, yeah.
So I'm honestly really excited to see Lotus as our final map rather than Bind, as we were kind of prophesizing before this. So I cannot wait to see that last map. But I don't know about you, ladies and gents, but I need a little bit of a break.
Yeah, we've been talking for quite some time,
And I'm sure all of you are also on the edge of your seats. So we're going to be back in less than 3 minutes. So don't go anywhere. You're not going to want to miss this final map. We will be right back. everyone, and welcome back. I think that was a very well-needed break because by the end of
Absolutely.
it, I don't know if you could see me, but with my seat right now,
Yeah.
by the end of it, I was
was like-
quite literally like this.
I mean, if you weren't, you weren't paying attention to the game, obviously.
100%, because bring us through the first two games, Manav.
Okay, well, first game, SNHU, they weren't playing their best. It was not the best way.
It's the warm-up. So for those of you that are just now joining us, hello everyone and welcome back to SNHU Esports. My name is Kaylee. Today I'm being joined by Madav
Yes, that's
for
me.
our SNHU Blue versus Fisher Ultra game. We are currently in map 3. We had a really, I wouldn't say intense, but it wasn't as intense. We had a opening sunset map, and that
Which didn't
definitely
work out
was
well.
no, it definitely did not work out in the favor of SNHU. But Ultra, took that home super easy. I think that was 13-3.
No, not 3. I think it was like
13-4. Then we went into Ascent, and now we're following it up with Lotus, as you can see by the maps that we have on the screen. But yeah, so that 13-4 first sunset game, that was definitely.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a just a momentum break there, but the thing is we did not have a break from sunset to a set at
And
all.
they worked so well with that. SNHU took that and ran all the way to a 13-6 win, and definitely, I don't know about you, but my morale went straight up.
I mean, yeah, without I think they only had one timeout from
From both
SNHU.
maps, there was only one timeout, and that was in Sunset. But let's not talk about the past.
Okay.
The past is in the past. And
It's-
now
you're
I'm
right.
interested
Lost.
to talk about the future, or Lotus. So obviously, we've seen a lot of very interesting picks, and let's just head straight into Agent Select as we talk about this.
Oh,
We
yeah.
saw that, I was just going to say, Hilton on that deadlock.
Yeah, he's been
We
working
saw
out
so
pretty
many,
well with that.
those annihilations coming out, they were
Those are
actually
funny.
getting
I love those.
value out of them. And obviously with that ult, you're only targeting one person, but the fact that he's able to target one person and still get the value, it's fantastic.
Oh yeah, I mean, I guess you could say Annihilation specifically. I feel like that's why Deadlock. It's just like her ultimate. It's either like literally a hit or miss. Like you either get the kill onto that or you don't. And not to mention that teammates can shoot her out. So if it's a 1v1, you're kind of screwed. But if it's like a 5v5 scenario, you've got a little bit of help from your teammates here. But Kaylee, why don't you run us down with the lineups that SHU's got right now?
All right, Sequel running out that Astra. I'm very excited for this. I think Astra is a wonderful, wonderful agent,
yes, of
especially on Lotus, where you have so much ground to cover. Hilton running that deadlock once again. Nami on that jet. We saw the absolutely incredible impact that he had on that game. What did he finish it out with? Like 34
It was like
kills?
37, like 9.
kills?
It was insane.
Case running that breach once again. We've seen Case on breach for all 3 rounds, and Frank on the Viper. Now on Fisher, we have Hobby backing out on the Omen. Cam Lord stepping away from his Sova and bringing a Sky out. Psyche back to the Raze. Rex finding a Viper, and we've got a sub actually coming out from Fisher
Ooh,
Ultra with
Reese's.
Reese's?
I want to say Reese's.
Reese's?
Reese Z.
See, I don't say Z,
Reese's.
I say Z. So
Z.
that just
Reese's. Reese, that reminds me of like Reese's Puffs.
on the Killjoy. But
But yeah, I'm excited to see how this game's gonna go. We see that Fisher, they do have the double smoke there and a big map on Lotus. Like we mentioned before, seeing those double smokes is gonna just be huge. We saw it on Sunset. So if they play similarly to how they're able to split up site and then just smoke CTs or a hallway even, you're just gonna be able to get the best value out of your smokes there. And same thing goes for SNHU, except the only difference is that it's an Astra and you just got to go into a natural form in order to place down your smokes there. So other than that, I'm excited to see how this is going to go. Last map decider, it's SNHU starting again on the defense. So we've seen them play defense really bad on Sunset and then really good on Ascent. So they must play average on this map.
is that how you're gonna average it out?
That's got to be like the good median middle there. So
Well, it looks like they're going towards a very aggressive defense push. We see Nami instantly dashing straight out to Mound. We also see, we had a little bit of utility coming out from both breaches with a flashpoint, and it's not, they're still waiting for them to push out into each other. That barrier mesh is going to stop a lot of activity at B, and that's going to give SNHU the time that they need to rotate over. And, it's just, once again, showing that Deadlock could truly be the new meta.
Oh yeah, I mean, just blocking out that area is just huge there. And they're just going to do a full map rotate on over onto C site. Oh, Sequo getting 2 picks just like that, and now 3 onto Javi, possibly a 4, but Reese's shuts him down, and Hilton is going to get that last pick onto Reese's, and that's going to be a first win for SNHU. They're only losing 1 member, but that 1 member got 3 picks.
That is irrelevant, because
Okay,
what we're going to talk about now is...
irrelevant?
No, what I'm saying is, let's go, SNHU. Pistol curse broken.
That's five wins in a row right now for this first win. If they can clutch it out for the second one, that would be the 3rd full pistol round win in a row there, counting from last map here. And SNHU, they're going all the way for it. We see 3 members buying up, having full bulldogs here, and full. They just got their sheriffs and their little bit of light pistols to work with here, and they're not pushing too fast. They're taking it slow. SNHU, we've seen them push up to Mount, or not to Mount, towards this area on A every single time here. But Frank, again, is just going to hold that ground on C side here. And now Fall is just got to think about where they really want to go here. Every single member is split up. No one's able to trade them out if one of them falls here. So it really depends on where they're really trying to go right now. I think they're just gathering information and figuring out where SNHU is.
Really slow play coming out of SNHU, especially after their incredibly fast push from the last round. Oh, Reese gonna get caught in a Hilton's grab net and going to ultimately suffer for that. Frank finding a second, finding a third onto both Lord and Javi. Frank is getting a lot of impact out of what he is doing right now. Rex caught at 1 HP, back up to 41 after the Viper smoke falls, and he's going to try and stay within his own decay, but in this 1v5 situation, he has to look at every single direction at the same time. He's able to find one, but unfortunately falls to Hilton. And like you said, every time SNHU has lost a member so far, they have made incredible impact. With Sequo first finding 3, Frank also finding another 3, if I'm not mistaken, in the second round. So they are really bringing it back up.
Definitely, just like you said there, bringing it back up. They are going to have this bonus here. Again, like normal, having these guns is just going to be huge on over for them. Frank is the closest to his ultimate right now. I mean, with 9 ultimate points, which is crazy. That Viper's Pit can do so much for the team, just locking out a lot. And I wonder if they're going to switch out where Deadlock and Viper will play, just because of how the setup is here. But looks like right now, SNHU, they're getting pretty impatient on the defense here. They're pretty high above, and you never really see this, but Full is actually rotating towards the shooting, which is something you don't really see too much here. But getting
through the smoke, finding both Reese's and Psyche. Rex gonna try to walk into them, but Case finding a third. Lord gonna find that trade onto Case, but it's not enough as Nami and Hilton finish that round off. And we just see the synergy coming back from SNHU.
Yeah,
they are able to work together, play off each other, and maybe that streak of aggressiveness that they had is kind of dialed back by a lot as they're able to work so cohesively as a team and wait for Fisher to push into them.
Oh yeah, that's nuts. I mean, they won the bonus again, and that's huge, because now they can just start the snowball that Full had on them from Sunset, and they can just keep rolling with it over and over again. But again, Full will have full weapons by this next round here, so if they're just able to keep up this momentum and not stop it in any way, it's just gonna work out so incredibly well for SNHU. But again, Full, it's really confusing to see where they're gonna try and push up, especially on a map like Lotus where there's so many areas to go through.
That barrier mesh caught Reese's and almost caught Hilton, but he was able to get away, just, got a little bit of damage, but in the end, it wasn't that much.
Oh, of course here. I mean, it's... I'm sorry.
Nami gonna find that first pick onto Rex to open that round up. Psyche gonna try and find a pick onto Frank, and in the end is able to get it. Sequo getting his trade onto Psyche and finding Lord to follow that up with. Left on 33 HP. He's looking to be in a little bit of a tricky position, left on C all alone. Reese's gonna finally find that pick onto Sequo. It's down to a 3v2. Most of SNHU is caught between B, and now we are gonna see them try to get that rotate over. That aftershock coming through. Nami gonna find that pick onto Javi. Case might be able to find Reese's as he comes down. Ooh, falls to Reese's and his sheriff, but Hilton right there to get that trade onto him to bring that 4th round in a row home to SNHU.
I mean, they're just starting off so well here with literally with a blast. It's a 4-0, and they are just keeping this momentum going. They are not stopping this anytime soon here. And Seiko already 5-2, Hilton 5-0. I mean, there are a lot of kills coming out from pretty much every member of SNHU right now, and Seiko already has the divide. The Astral Divide, Cosmic Divide, what Celestial Divide, whichever one of the 3 it is. Which one is it? Kaylee, which one is it?
I'm pretty sure it's Cosmic Divide.
Oh, okay. Well, out of the 4 actually is what I mean here. But they're going to get action-packed round right, again.
Psyche going to get straight onto side and do his damage, finding 2 onto both Nami and Seiko, finally falling to Case. But he's done his damage. He did exactly what he needed to do. He made his impact. And we see the rest of Fisher Ultra try to use that advantage to get back up onto the site. Going through tree, Case going to try to hold this small angle. And, you know, looking through door, especially with his flashpoint, it's going to try to get a bit of utility off as Javi finds Hilton. Reese's gonna find Case in a 1v3 situation. It's all up the front. He's stuck at drop by himself. He's able to find Rex in his battle of the Vipers, but unfortunately gets paranoid. But finds Javi. It is not enough. Fisher is not able to find him as of yet. Got the double nano swarm locking him over at drop, and unfortunately falls to Reese's as he's unable to get both the turret and the last 2 remaining members. But that was a solid effort from Franck.
Yeah, Franck just somehow staying alive there with 2 nano swarms onto him. I don't know how he stayed alive there. I feel like that's a glitch at best there. So getting that is gonna be huge for him, but unfortunately, just looking at basically 3 members of an enemy team is gonna put him down there. And now SNHU, they're gonna be kind of stacked up towards one side. They're not going to be really split up as before. Just kidding. They are going to be. But what I meant to say is that Full is actually going to be pushing more towards the C area, while the other 2 members kind of just step back and really wait for SNE2 to try to push up. And Nami, having this operator as well, really wants him to get a pick here, you know, pushing up a little bit more, but that only forces Full to make a full rotate over onto A, and they are doing it quick.
Odin from Franck not quite able to find anything as of yet. We've got the Seekers out, Showstoppers, even our Viper's Pit. There's so much.
A lot of ult
So
helping.
much ults. Oh my goodness. So much. That's not even a word. I mean, English is so hard. We've also got the lockdown coming out. Wow, there is a lot of heavy investment that is being put into this round right now. And, you know, hopefully value is being found as Nami in drop able to get away with his op. Not quite locked as of yet. Camlord is going to be holding this angle, however, as he knows that Boobot was shot out. Reese's finding his 3rd, Camlord finding one onto Case and finishing it off, finding Nami and losing that op.
Yeah, that op is just going to be the biggest thing, especially because they were up so high economy-wise, and now they're just back down to that middle average that they were at. In just 2 rounds, SNHU is on their last full buy round, or I guess you could call it their last if they lose the round. But if they do win, it'll be really good, really good for them. That's where they want to be. But I mean, other than that, I'm just excited to see how this round is going to play out. It looks like how Full has been playing this is just have 3 go towards A, and then 1 go out in their own direction towards B, towards A, to catch any defenders off guard. And if there is any sudden movement from any of the defenders, they just go completely opposite of where the most of attention from SNHU defenders are.
Looks like we're heading towards a bit more of a solid C stack, but, you know, still rotating over. Oh, Nami getting a really nice pick onto one lurker, Rex, who is all the way over at A, trying to draw some distractions as we see Fisher now looking towards B. B is pretty much open, but the annihilation coming out from Hilton once again, finding his target onto Reese's. Psych gonna find that onto Franck. Case finding Reese's. Camlord finally freeing one. Hilton going to get Javi before falling to Camlord to bring that down to a 1v2. It's all up to Seiko, and, you know, with Astra, you have the potential to do a lot. But, you know, with your stars placed or just being the last person there, it can be quite a bit, especially in a 1v2 situation. The guiding light coming out going to do a lot for just seeking that information. And as long as Fisher plays together, rather than letting Seiko use his 2 stars, isolate for the fights and so on and so forth, they will be able to take this round home.
Oh, definitely here. And the thing is right now is that these guys on full are going to be playing close together. They're not going to be separated whatsoever because isolating these fights is just going to be huge here, and he's just going to use all of his abilities, but KM Lord is going to get that headshot onto him, just crouched down. Unfortunately, the crosshair placement was just not prepared for that, and SNHU, like I said before, they're not going to be as well in a position that they were. They are going to be running with these sheriffs here, and now full is going to have the upper hand with these vandals plus ultimates. They have the Seeker's ultimate, and when you're attacking, it's just so much information that's given to you because now you have 3 members of SNHU's defenders, the closest ones, coming right towards you. And the thing is, the last round, all 3 members on A just decided to push towards spawn there. So if they ult and all the Seekers just turn around, they're running just straight into each other there. So
But Trailblazer are going to try and get a little bit of information, but very slow play compared to the last few rounds. Paranoia are going to come out, catch Hilton off guard, but that grab net and that barrier mesh is going to be his play grace. Reese's Rex doing heavy damage to bring that down to a 5v2, just in the matter of a blink.
You did see a little bit of Case there, just a back turn of him. Will he get the headshot? No. Case is going to make it out before he dies there. And now, with only Hilton and Case left, they are so spread out here, and Rex is just going to close that gap even more. It's all down to Case there. And Rex, again, with this 4K coming out, I mean, that is a pretty... That's a lot of kills. You know, that's 4/5 of a team there. And we are going to see a timeout coming out from Nami as well here. I mean, when you're on a streak, a 4-win streak, and then just to get that absolutely taken away from you, and you have the chances to retake that back, and it just doesn't work out. May I mention, this is the 8th round, so 8 to 9 rounds, I mean, the timeout, I mean, it's always going to come out. So.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like when you're at that kind of 8 round, it's either you're finding that you're stagnant, or that's when the biggest impact comes in. You know, like you said, you had a 4-round streak, and now you are losing in a 4-round streak. That's when you're like, okay, why were we winning? Why were we losing? Or, you know, I don't want to say it again because we always say it, but just even breaking up momentum. Like, that's literally sometimes that's all you need to do. Just throw someone off their feet, make sure that they don't do the same play again, or just understand why you started losing.
It seems like SNHU, they've going back to their aggressive route, and that did work on Ascent. When they were on the defense, it worked a lot in their favor here. But it looks like on Lotus, Fisher is kind of prepared for that, just with the abilities that they have and the game sense. They're just able to turn around in the right time. And like we saw on the I believe 2 rounds ago, where 3 members of SNHU all decided to push up from A, and they just all died in full spawn there, and that really set them back the most, I'd say. So maybe just playing a little bit slower. I feel like we've seen kind of slow plays, but they always start slow and end quick. So maybe they just need to do the opposite, you know, start fast and a little bit slow there, and see how well that can work out for them.
That grab knight coming out immediately, but not quite able to find anything as Nami tries to dash out and get a few picks to find some value. We see SNHU once again pushing so far up on A site, but now with Fisher playing so close to spawn, you know, it's really a toss-up of whatever they want to do first. So I do believe that they're going to try and get a few picks at whatever site and then use that as a way to rotate over. Oh, we're going to see a little bit of contact get initiated from Nami, Psyche, and the rest as we see that Rolling Thunder come out as well. Nami takes a little bit of damage, and we see Fisher push off A site, looking towards a rotation all the way towards C. They push past Mound, got dark cover coming out on both places. The Seekers coming out as well. Shrouded step from Javi, gonna get him onto site and behind Frank. Psyche gonna find that pick onto Frank. Javi also gonna find one onto Sequo. C side is guaranteed for Fisher. Oh, Hilton getting a few lucky shots through the dark cover, getting Javi down slightly. But you know, we have that Revitalize coming out from KM Lord as well. Rex gonna find Hilton to stop anymore as Javi's able to find that pick onto Case. It's all up to Nami in this 1v5 situation. Is he going to be able to bring this round home?
I have no idea. He is at 90 HP right now. He has no ultimates, and he only has his clouds as abilities here. He does see Javi a little bit, is able to throw one out, but it's so scary, you know, just pushing into that, because I mean, that's 5 whole members there, and he's blinded. He's in a corner. He's just got to run for his life here. He can try and get these picks, but I don't know how well that's going to work out for them. The jump peek comes out. Headshots are coming out. You know, if for whatever reason, if the bullets just decided
if they had
to
all
not
lined
move,
up,
you know?
and he got all 3 of them
that
in
would have been
one
insane.
shot, that would have been so satisfying.
Absolutely there, but it would have been super cool. But again, it would not have done much.
I mean,
for
I would
Falter.
say the biggest difference that I see is with that substitution, with Reese's coming in, I wonder if, that's a reason why we're seeing this kind of switch up. Obviously, Snoop played super well. They should be carrying that momentum forward, but now with the switch up, they have to get used to an entirely new player, an entirely new play style. And, it's one person that is slightly more well rested.
Definitely here. I mean, just like you said, just having, not being able to play and then just starting fresh right onto the decider. I mean, you're a lot less tired than every other player here. And Case is just so close up with the stinger too. I mean, this gun is so deadly when it's just so up close there, but it's not as good when there's 4 members of Full looking right at you there. Deadlock is going to save him a little bit, give him time to recoup and go back to wherever they need to be, but it looks like Full is going to continue towards this push towards them.
That snakebite going to come out and force Nami out of his little hiding spot. Ooh, the Trailblazer not quite able to find any. Nami finding a third onto Rex. Camlord finally taking Nami down before he does any more damage. It is a 3v2. Hilton with his Sheriff. He's going to try and stay behind main just to, try to get just 1 or 2 more kills. He has to make sure that no one looks towards him. Camlord looks away at the wrong moment, but Hilton unfortunately is not able to find any shots to connect onto him. And we do see Hilton finally fall to Reese's. Seikuo right there next to him with his Sheriff. Also going to find one onto Camlord. It is a 1v2. It is all up to Camlord. He has the spike. He knows that Seiko is up there. He knows that Frank is somewhere nearby. Is he going to be able to guarantee this round and, make sure that he can take this back for Fisher as well? He looks straight into Frank, and Seiko going to find that pick onto him, breaking that streak and bringing the first round in a few rounds home for SNHU.
I mean, 100% here. Just being able to have 2 defenders and then just 1 attacker, you can't spray transfer fast enough to get both of them there. SNHU getting that thrifty is going to be big for them. Not to mention economy-wise, but just motivation-wise. Again, like you said, breaking that streak, getting that momentum back, getting that morale. I believe with only 2 rounds left until map switch, if they're able to win these next 2, 7-5, not in a bad spot to be at all, especially on the defense. It can only mean that they can just go harder on the attack, and I think we had that exact same split up on Ascent there. So for this round specifically though, I'm not really too sure what Fault's gonna do. It looks like they're just gonna default back to their normal lineup of pushing 3 and then having 1 member push up towards site and try and get as much information as possible.
Slower play for now. We're seeing, some utility get used. We've got the stars coming out, nebulas, and it's just everyone's trying to fish not only for information but for picks. Case and Nami going to try and look into one, and Case finds that first pick onto Rex. Ooh, Frank getting a really nice shot onto Psyche as well, left on only 30 HP. He's got to be super careful, but bringing that down already to a 5v3 puts Snu in definitely a more favorable position as we see Fisher Ultra try to push once again through Mound. The Trailblazer coming out, trying to find a little bit of information. Seiko through the dark cover, going to be able to get the round. Finding Reese's as well. Frank finding a second onto Javi. Camlord going to find Frank at the end. It's all up to Camlord. Oh, what? Really, really nice shot onto Seiko while being stunned.
I mean, that's insane. That's huge here. And SNHU, they want to end this round quick, so they're going to push him right away there. Nami is going to get that final headshot onto Camlord, making this 6-5. And SNHU is in a really good spot right now. They have the Cosmic Divide. I got it this time. And the Annihilation from there. And for Full, they have the Killjoy Lockdown, the Viper Spit, and from the Shadows. So literally, what they could do, I'm not saying they're going to do this, but it's an option. Everyone could push towards A. They could drop down Viper's Pit and the Lockdown, and then just ult onto the other side. Now, would that be a good idea? No, absolutely not. That would be a terrible idea. But it would be really funny to see, and I think they should do that because for stream and content purposes, it would be a really cool clip. I
didn't know we're looking for the content now. Oh, incredibly fast C push coming out, but Frank going to deny them already their first duelist as he finds that pick onto Psyche. That slowed them down immeasurably, and we see them slowly inching their way back out. Seiko going to be hiding in back halls as the lockdown comes in. Oh, Javi looks straight into Seiko, unfortunately, who doesn't have his crosshair pointed at the right place. We also see that Viper's Pit coming out. That's going to be a cozy little nest, or maybe I should fall back and say cozy little pit for Hollow Fisher to kind of reside in, as they wait in for them. Oh, Annihilation once again coming out. Not quite able to. Oh no, actually finding Javi, that is going to be great for Hilton if he's able to find that. That's going to get a lot of value. Case going to be able to find one. Cam Lord finding one each onto Case and Nami. Hilton going to find Cam Lord, and we are going to see that stick coming out of Frank through the Nano Swarm as Hilton finishes that off with a 3K.
That is going to be big here. You know, 7-5, like I said before, it's going to put him in a really good spot, especially on attacking here. I mean, attacking is where SNHU wants to be. This is their home. This is their comfort zone. You know, this is where I feel SNHU plays their best. Being able to have these walls and lineups and smokes able to go right away is just going to be huge for them. But we have not seen Fisher or Ultima play on Ultimate. What is it? Ultra. Sorry, we have not seen Fisher Ultra on the defense for Lotus as well here. So this is a decider. I don't think either team gets to pick it. Is that how Decider works?
So from what I know, especially when it comes to deciding of maps, you know, you go around, you pick one, you ban one, you pick one, you ban one, and in the end, once you're done with all your picks and your bans, obviously you only have one left over.
I see. Okay, so yeah, this is just the final map that they decided on. So no one really picked this map here, so it really depends on how much they've practiced on it.
Nami already trying to lead that first charge, and with a 5 stack all the way onto C. This is an all or nothing round for them. And as Nami dashes into the Nano Swarms, which is so unfortunate as Rex is able to get that first pick onto Nami. He also finds Seiko with his Vipers, with his Snake Bite and Case. Hilton finally finding Rex, but it's, you know, the damage has been done.
Oh, yeah.
Not only is he left on incredibly low HP, it is also a 2v3 now with Hilton and Frank against Psyche, Javi, and Cam Lord. And unfortunately, we do see Frank fall to Cam Lord in the end.
Yeah, that Snake Bite, I said Viper's pick by mistake, but that Snake Bite there getting so much value. I mean, you're not only vulnerable, but you're just running into Killjoy Swarm Grenades.
Yep.
And if you try and dodge them, the people that are on top of that like CT area on C, they're just gonna be able to see you and get that headshot right on you as well. So that defense coming out from Full is kind of big there, and that's the first loss in 5 rounds for the pistol.
Oh no!
Yeah, so this is you know, big loss streak from SNHU here. It's only they can only get it back if they win the second round.
A lot of utility coming out almost immediately. Psyche gonna find that first pick onto Hilton. Frank going to trade Cam Lord out as Javi and Psyche each find one more of their own to bring that down to a 1v4 as Javi finds one more onto Case with his classic. It's all up to Frank with his Sheriff. He is incredibly pushed away from this site. He just doesn't have the right gun to fight against Phantoms, a Bulldog, and as we see, he falls to Javi in the end. And this is a great bonus round for Fisher to be following it up on.
Yeah, typically for these rounds, if SNHU typically doesn't win the first pistol round, for the second one, they'll just push in all the time, you know, peel the Band-Aid right off. They just want to get this round over with and just go into the round where they're able to have full guns, and Full doesn't.
I mean, I would say rather than just pushing the Band-Aid off, like, what else are you supposed to do when you have such close contact guns?
On these big maps.
Yes, and you just need to be able to push in, and you need to have that close contact for sure.
Absolutely. So just running in was the best shot that they really had there, and now they're able to buy up Full, but it looks like Full is going to be the one on the aggression here, pushing up towards SNHU spawn. 4 members are going to be almost on the flank here if they decide to commit to it all the way, and now SNHU is going to be pushing up on to C.
Nami trying to get straight onto the site. Hilton finally finding Reese's before he's able to find anyone, and that's going to be the first pick of this round, which is looking great because that guarantees them the entirety of C site.
Oh.
Rex coming up through flank, gonna be able to find Nami right outside Mound. Oh, that barrier mesh gonna delay them for just a little bit, but still, with Nami taken out, you know, a duelist down, it could mean a little bit more of a harder retake. Hilton, however, just going to deny anything as he's able to find that pick onto Cam Lord to bring that back down to a 4v3. Oh, that Aftershock going to come out and delay Javi just a little bit. Frank put in a really good corner, and we see him able to get that trade onto Javi. Psyche finding Frank and Hilton with his third, unfortunately falling to Rex. Rex finding a third onto Case. It's all up to Seiko. And Seiko brings that round home for SNHU.
Yeah, it looks like it was just a little bit of a nail biter there for both teams. I mean, they were pushing up, and Seiko was just there. He was up on the boxes. He was on the I don't know where I was going with that, but he was playing sneaky, you know, and he was able to get that pick, and that was pretty important for them because that round, I mean, SNHU, they just were able to get out of that pistol round,
Yep.
lost there, and with it being a 1v1, they needed that win bonus. That win bonus is that means how they're gonna be able. I can't talk. They needed that win because if they lost it, Volt would just be able to continue the snowball that they had from the first and the second round there, and just continue to push forward and get closer to that 13 win mark.
Yeah, you know, I mean, that goes without saying. Obviously, if you win a round, you are going to be in a better position to win the next round after. So I do see how that snowball would come in. But now if we're looking at it, both teams not looking the best in terms of economy-wise. You know, we're not seeing full buys come out of either of them. Seeing a couple of Spectres, a couple of Bulldogs, and that definitely could be one of the main reasons why both teams are playing so hesitantly right now.
Oh yeah. It's so scary, but they're also so close together. 4 defenders of Fall just pushing into Snoo.
Hilton gonna find one. Psyche using his paint shells to find one onto Case as well. Annihilation once again coming out. Gonna find yet again another. Seiko and Nami each finding one. Rex stuck in the Annihilation, not quite able to do too much, and it's all up to Camlord. Sorry, Reese's. I'm so used to Camlord being Killjoy for some reason.
Yeah, I mean that was no. Camlord has always been on Sova. It's all right. it's okay here. With SNHU getting the main control onto A right now, it looks like Reese is just not going to push that. There are a lot of times where you shouldn't save, and when you should, I'd say you could go either or here.
No, I think this is definitely one of those times where you
Nah,
do need to save.
he's got it in the bag. What are you talking? what are you talking about?
In a 1v4 situation, especially when your creds are averaging about 200, you might want to look towards a save. But then again, I talk as someone who cries in the face of a clutch. You know, if it's a 1v1 situation, you will find me on the other side, far away from my PC crying.
I don't know if that's the right move there.
If I don't look at them, they can't find me.
in real life too, obviously, and obviously there. So Reese is just gonna hold this down here. It looks like he's not gonna play for exits, just playing it safe. He does not want to lose his gun or his health in any way there. That's gonna focus towards buying only abilities for him, and that's just gonna be in a good spot for him and his team overall here. The biggest thing that Full has that SNHU doesn't is the Viper's Pit right now. If they are able to just lock down the site that they're pushing into, that will make it so the defenders of Full can only go on to A or C or wherever they go and just have only Rex on one. But in a pistol round like this, it's definitely not the best time to pop it. And
once again, the Gravnet coming out. We see that Snake Bite. We also see the paint shells. You know, that's a really, really heavy hitting combination.
There you go.
Rex, however, going to find that first pick onto Hilton with that Ghost. Oh, that's going to be big impact, especially since, you know, we saw Hilton buy up. We saw him with a heavier rifle. Nami, however, going to get that trade back onto Rex, deny Rex any chance of picking that gun up.
Absolutely here, Psyche getting so close with the Sheriff as well. It doesn't look like he's going to stop pushing out into Mound there. Get a couple picks off. Case is going to turn around and get that kill. Psycho getting 2 picks of his own here. And now it's down to Reese's again. Will he save again? I don't know.
Poor Reese's. He's always being caught in this really awkward 1v5, 1v4, 1v3 situation.
And now he's just stuck there. But I think SNHU thinks that he is on A side there, so they're playing it kind of slow at the moment. But little do they know, Reese's is nowhere to be found. He's on the opposite side of the map, and they have absolutely nothing to worry about for the time being. But it looks like he's going to save again. At least maybe play exits, play a little bit more riskier this time. But
definitely his strategy right now is to try and deny as many guns as possible while still keeping his own. Because, you know, we can't forget, last round we saw them averaging about 200 creds. He has a Phantom in his hand right now. He does not want to lose it.
Oh, yeah. And not to mention, on Ascent, when they were at 11 rounds, they had to save in order to have enough for the final round there. So keeping this, you know, gun plus his own economy is just going to and make it better in the long run here, especially if SNHU does get this win, which I'm pretty sure they will, is going to make it 10-7, and then that's only 3 rounds.
Might be running into Reese's. No, I thought he was for a second, but he looked away at the wrong moment.
But yeah, just having 3 more rounds to win for SNHU, they want to be in the best spot possible here. I mean, again, like you said, averaging under 1,000 credits, it's not it's not a good spot.
Yeah, this is definitely the last full buy that they're going to be able to have in a little bit. So this is a round that could possibly, like you like to say, it could snowball into the end of this map. Because if we look at it, if SNHU is able to win this round, you know, they're not going to be able to buy for the next round, which would be match point round.
Yeah.
Because you want to save when it goes actually into match point. Psyche almost gets caught in the grab net, able to use his blast packs to just catapult him a little bit further out of it. We see SNHU still hanging back slightly in spawn, you know, not giving up too much yet.
Yeah, normally we see them push in a lot, but it looks like in rounds like this, they know that Volt is going to be playing a little bit more aggressive. They want to get these picks and secure these economy credits here, and now they're just playing it slow. They're taking their time, waiting for Volt to come up, use their abilities a little bit more here, and not to mention they have 4 ultimates, and that's kind of scary walking into the site. You're not knowing what you're gonna get here, and they're all crowded around C, and they're just waiting to push into each other.
Cosmic Divide coming up. That's going to be really good for SNHU. But it's really funny because they're all grouped up so close together.
Yeah, they're just not capitalizing on it.
Any idea. Oh, Rolling Thunder coming out. Psyche finally popping that showstopper, able to find one with that Rex, also finding one onto Nami. Hilton finding his onto Reese's. Frank, Seiko each finding one. Psyche finding that trade onto Seiko. It's down to a 2v2. The paint shells are coming out. Frank is going to be held off just slightly. But with the sneakers coming out, that's going to be so much information for them as Psyche is able to find his onto Frank. However, closing that up with a nice 2K onto Camlord. That is exactly the 11th round that they needed, because now SNHU can buy up for their match point.
Yeah.
But we are not going to be able to see this same buy coming out of Fisher Ultra.
Yeah, Fisher can either decide to save as much as they can or buy up as much as they can. And right now, I'm not sure what they're going to do. Maybe they're looking for a light buy, have enough for the next round. That's the biggest thing. Because if you buy up this round and you lose, the game's I don't want to speak for anyone. I'm not biased, but the game might just end there, because you're only with pistols. You know, you're not really favored too well here. So just having enough to do enough damage this round and then have bigger guns for the next round, that's exactly in the comfort zone where you want to be here. And SNHU knows that they're going to be pushing up. They're going to have these short range weapons, and they do not want to be near Fall at all here. Doing a complete map rotate. Reese's is going to get the short end of the straw here, and he's just going to get all members of SNHU pushing right towards him here, and they're going to take side just like that.
Ooh, that flashpoint coming out, it's going to be great to try and get Reese's out. You know, he has to look away. Nami's going to be able to capitalize on that. We're going to see that poison orb also coming out. Might be able to help Nami, who is now going to try and get a few, but unfortunately looks away as Psyche with that Stinger, able to get that onto him. Case, however, going to get that trade onto Psyche. It's down to a 4v3. They're already able to get the spike down. Hilton going to find his pick onto Rex. It is a 4v2. This is looking dangerously close for Fisher Ultra with that aftershock coming out as well. We are going to see Cam, Lord, and Javi try to push onto site together. Case is going to find that onto Cam. And his third onto Cam, Lord, as well. That is the match point. We have one more round in this map. And it is looking pretty good for SNHU right now. But obviously, you know, Fisher Ultra, they were able to buy up. They saved everything to buy up this round. But, you know, we are going to go back into that viscous circle. If they lose this, they're going to have to save. And SNHU still has enough creds to buy up in the next round.
This is game if it's
no, I'm saying
sorry. I didn't get that part. I'm like, Kill, are you okay?
Like I said, it's the vicious circle. If Fisher wins this, you know, and they lose their guns, it's not going to be enough. And we see that they're trying to get so aggressive right now. They're trying to deny this last round for them, as we saw by that incredibly aggressive mound push coming out from C. That trailing light, the paint shells, 3 of them are stacked all the way up at C. It's a good thing that they put more of their eggs onto a B site.
Definitely. Frank getting the, again, facing them here. Cam, Lord, and Javi getting one of their own. That is 2 members of SNHU down already. Bomb has not been planted here. And Fault is just pushing up as much as they can. Nami, however, is going to even things out, making it 3-3.
Hilton also finding one onto Psyche. Javi going to find one onto Hilton, however, but Nami with his 3rd kill. It is now a 2-1. It is all up to Cam Lord on his Sky as Case tries to get that plant down. For Cam Lord, his only alternative is to isolate these fights. He knows that, you know, Nami has his knives. He knows that Case might be up on heaven. He sees Case. He knows where he is, but Nami is still missing. He knows that Spike is down. He is playing for time as well. And Nami, with that 4K, brings the second map home for SNHU. Congratulations, SNHU. What an incredible second game. This is only the second week.
Game, just like the first game where we saw it go into overtime again. I feel like we're gonna see a lot of overtimes.
Yep, I think we're gonna see a lot of overtimes. But what an incredible start of a series, genuinely.
Yeah.
I think that with these first two games against TMU Gold, against Fisher Ultra, and with Fisher Ultra being such, you know, it's always been ping-ponging back between SNHU and Fisher.
Yeah.
So I think this is the start of a really, really good season. So thank you so much, everyone, for coming and joining us for this really, really fun game today.
It was.
You know, all three maps were so fun. Once again, happy birthday to Hilton. We will see you guys back here tomorrow for Smash. On Wednesday, we will have Overwatch?
Wednesday we have League.
Wednesday's League. Thursday is Overwatch. And if you guys want more Valorant, we'll be right back here, twitch.tv/SNHU Esports every Monday with Valorant. We will see you guys all very soon. Bye!